Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Craig here at Zuki Play Metals, and I wanted to talk about XRP, and specifically XRP in the context of an investment. Um, the best way to have XRP, no doubt, is to hold the token, right? If you got it in cold storage, you got your token in your possession, that's probably one of the best investments you can make for XRP specifically, in my opinion. And this is all opinion, not investment advice. I just want to share what I'm doing. Okay, so I got on Fidelity, and I'm doing a weekly recurring buy. You can set that up, so you can do as little as $10, whatever, a week. You can set it for every 2 weeks. You can set up monthly, however you want to purchase. But one thing I'm looking into is the XRPN. Okay, so that ticker, it's on Nasdaq. But if you look in Fidelity, you can search it, any of these apps, probably Robinhood. I'm not on Robinhood, I don't know, but any of those you could find it. So XRPN, currently, this is what I got up here on the screen, and it's my Fidelity account. I don't have much, just getting started, but I just wanted to share with you guys in case it's something you might be interested in. So right now, the ticker XRPN is under Armada Acquisition, LI Class A. That's what it comes up on my computer. But if you can look, and they've got news and research in here in Fidelity, you can look up a lot of information, okay? But one of the announcements is Evernorth announces confidential submission of draft registration statement on Form S4 to the SEC. So what they're planning on doing is by the first quarter of 2026, this merger should be complete. And Evernorth is wanting to basically have a treasury of XRP. Okay, so I just wanted to go over some of this news. This is it. I can try to expand this a little bit here. Okay, so this is just telling you that they announced today, this is back in November 13th, submission of draft registration statement of that form S4 to the SEC. So the submission draft statement marks an important milestone, right, towards the Armada Acquisition Court to XRPN, a special purpose acquisition company sponsored by Arrington Capital, which was announced on October 20th, 2025. Evernorth's public journey begins with a simple premise that digital assets will usher in the next generation of an institutional finance. The confidential submission of Form S4 marks a significant milestone as we move towards becoming a publicly traded company built for institutional adoption of XRP and towards redefining how digital assets integrate with the global financial system. And that was according to Ashish Birla, Chief Executive Officer of Evernorth. The completion of the proposed business combination is expected to close in Q1 2026, subject to customary closing conditions and the approval of Armada to shareholders, and comes on the heels of recent news, and the resulting new company has raised over $1 billion in gross proceeds to create the largest public XRP treasury company on Nasdaq. Okay, so I was looking earlier, I think they've already acquired over like 473 million XRP tokens, which is crazy. So about Evernorth, formed through the business combination to be completed between Evernorth and Armada 2, is a NASDAQ-listed special purpose acquisition company. The business combination, pursuant to definitive business combination agreement. The business combination agreement, Evernorth at closing, will be a publicly traded digital asset treasury that provides investors with exposure to XRP through a regulated, liquid, and transparent structure. Unlike the ETFs, Evernorth intends to actively grow its XRP per share through a mix of institutional and DeFi yield strategies, ecosystem participation, and capital market activities. To learn more, please, you can visit them. It says at www.evernorth.xyz. Okay, so that's pretty interesting in itself. I mean, it reminds me of Strategy, the company with Michael Saylor accumulating Bitcoin, kind of a treasure asset. But they're going one step further here. They got a plan to utilize the DeFi yield strategies, right? And eco participation. They're doing a mix of institutional stuff there. So that's kind of neat. They got a plan, and I think it could grow. Who knows? You know, it could grow into an interesting investment strategy here. And then about the underlying company for Arrington Capital for the Armada 2. Sponsor: Arrington Capital is a digital asset management firm primarily focused on blockchain-based capital markets. The firm, co-founded in 2017 by TechCrunch and Crunchbase founder Michael Arrington, has invested hundreds of startups around the world. So they are a seasoned capital venture group, and it says they have crypto native roots, a lot of experience in that. And then about the Armada Acquisition Corp. Armada 2 is a special purpose acquisition company formed for the purpose of effecting a merger, share exchange, asset acquisition, share purchase, recapitalization, reorganization, and similar business combination with one or more businesses. So they were founded on October 3rd, 2024, and they're led by following seasoned investors and industrial executives: Tara Nadu, Chief Executive Officer; Michael Arrington, Chairman; Kyle Horton, Chief Financial Officer; and board members Michael Arrington, Tara Nadu, Richard Dennis, Lindy Key, and Ronald Palmieri. So you can learn more if you go to their website at arlingtoncapital.com/Armada. Additional information and where to find it. So there's a lot of information. If you guys want to go to the Fidelity website or any of these, the news, you can learn. They give you a lot of background about them, so you can kind of do a little research before you invest in anything like this. So as an XRP holder, I've held since 2021. And I have some in cold storage. I also have some, which will be down in my description below, the link, I Trust Capital. So I went ahead and opened a tax advantaged account. I put a Roth IRA, and I have a little basket of different things in there. I have some Bitcoin. I have some Hedera. I have some, what else? I have XRP and a little XLM in there as well. So, I just wanted to try to take advantage if these assets would take off. It could mean a huge tax savings, right? So I get to 59.5, maybe I can withdraw that money tax-free. So like I said, I try to stay diversified. If you've watched this channel, I've got precious metals in there. I have some crypto. Of course, I work full-time job, 12-hour shifts, so I do 401k investments as well. And then on the side, I've got little things like Fidelity. I don't put much in there, but every little bit helps. I like to be diversified into different things. And it's really paid off. What I've seen over the past decade is usually when one asset dips, another one comes up. So if the markets are down, usually gold and silver's up and vice versa. But I've noticed that my overall net worth just tends to stay on this equilibrium, where one fails, the other one makes up for it. So this is one thing I thought was pretty neat. And like I said, I'm going to set to mine just to buy X amount every week, right? And you can go in and change that budget at any time. So I got that. And then another article here on TradingView from Coinpedia. It talks about Ripple news. David Schwartz, one of the original founders of XRP with Ripple back in the day. He has backtracked from his Ripple position, but he's still on the board. But he has joined Evernorth as an advisor. And not only him, I was looking down through this. It's talking about more about Evernorth, what they're trying to do, kind of what we've already discussed. But, Ripple is a partner with them. So you also have Brad Garlinghouse, Stuart Aldarati, David Schwartz. They'll all three serve as strategic advisors, ensuring Evernorth stays connected to the broader XRP ecosystem. So I don't think you can get much more bullish than that. Evernorth has got some great partners for what they're trying to do. They went right to the source at Ripple and got some very smart cookies there to get their advisorship from. So I thought that was very interesting. And then one thing I'll show you real quick back here on this Fidelity account. If I go back to the home, let me look here, the accounts and trade. All right, guys, if you're in Fidelity, you're in your accounts, like your home screen for all accounts, which I only have one in here, my investment account. But if you go to where it says more, and you come down and you look at, see this account features, if you go here, this is where you can set up things like smart habits if you want to save so much money every month, or like what I'm doing, you can do the reoccurring transfers. And so it's right here. I'll just click manage recurring transfers. And then, I've got my bank account set up here, and I've got it set to XRPN. The next investment will be November 21st, 2025. So currently, and this can be changed at any time, I've got it set up on $50 a week. So you can just put this in, total amount, and set it up. Here's where you can edit it. You can skip your next investment. You can schedule the day of the week. I got mine set up for every Friday. So there you go. But come to the first quarter of 2026, this will all be invested in hopefully everything goes through with the Evernorth merger. So we can get started on the XRP investment. So it's just an early thing. If you want to get in early, if you want to look into it, do your own due diligence, do your own investment research. Like I said, I'm not an advisor. Just got on here to show you what I'm doing and share in case you'd be interested in something like that. That's what I do. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. It's a pretty exciting time to be in crypto and all the things going on. I know markets are down, but hey, that's just how it goes, right? We're waiting on the Clarity Act to be approved and see what comes from there. Good things to come in the future. So you guys take care. Thanks for watching and peace out.